Yo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, how you doing? How's your mom? How's your family? We here for TJ Loves Fights. What if Alex Pereira moves up to heavyweight? I think he will move up to heavyweight. I think he eventually will make the transition. It will be a little bit delayed now that we know that Ankalaev will be fighting Pereira if he somehow loses that fight. I don't want to say somehow like he can't lose it, but if he loses that fight, then there will probably be a rematch there. Dana White has already came out and said, Tom Aspinall versus John Jones will 100% happen. Tom Aspinall says there's big news on the way, so we're really just waiting for that to pop off. That can pop off any day now. And I think Alex Pereira will eventually move up to heavyweight, and it probably will be against the winner of John Jones and Tom Aspinall. And it will be Alex Pereira will try to become the first triple champion. So, what if Alex Pereira moves up to heavyweight? We got TJ Loves Fights. I'm gonna sit back, react like only I can do. Take it away.
What if Alex Pereira goes to heavyweight? Ever since Alex posted this sick picture and now legendary picture, this got me more and more excited about not just a matchup between him and Tom Aspinall, but in general, the move for Alex to go up to heavyweight. Okay, I know we shouldn't be overlooking Magomed Ankalaev. He's by far Alex's biggest test at light heavyweight, and if he finally agrees to fight outside of Abu Dhabi or Alex decides to fight there, that obviously has to be taken care of first. But let's say Alex takes care of business. What if he sparks Magomed Ankalaev and gets his 4th title defense? By this point, he would have beaten the top 4 contenders, and there really wouldn't be a clear next opponent in light heavyweight. So of course, in this situation, I think Alex Pereira would move into heavyweight. But here's the thing. In the other scenario, where Magomed just mauls Alex Pereira, it's very likely Alex just moves up regardless and doesn't even give a fuck about the rematch. Alex has expressed practically every time he's asked if he will ever move to the next division that he's always down for the move, and that he will fight at heavyweight at least once in his career. And with Alex being 37, it's clear he wants to speed run UFC GOAT status.
But the higher you go in weight classes, the less age matters. We know this. And Brazilians, they age differently. A lot of these Brazilians, but they age
only has a small window to continue to do so. So I think whether or not he beats Magomed Ankalaev, I'm pretty damn certain he's going to move up to heavyweight regardless. And speaking of Abu Dhabi and Magomed Ankalaev, the card of the year, UFC 308, is finally going down this weekend. And Ilia Topuria, Max Holloway is finally going down. You have the banger of
No offense.
Oh my gosh, dude.
On car insurance.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Guys,
sorry.
So everyone is ditching
over the physicals. Firstly, he's fucking huge. If Joe Rogan hasn't shoved Alex being huge down your throat yet, let me tell you, the guy's massive. He claims 6'4", but I swear he's an inch or an inch and a half taller than that. He obviously has a giant frame, and at a 79-inch reach, he stacks up pretty well against the other top heavyweights. And in terms of weight, the guy straight after the weigh-in before the Khalil Roundtree fight weighed 104.3 kilos or about 230 pounds. How the hell did this guy make 185 is beyond me. But anyways, this is what he weighs in before fights at light heavyweight. Imagine what he walks around at normally. He doesn't balloon all too much like other fighters, and since he fights practically every 3 UFC cards, I do think he is closer to that 230 mark all the time. But if he wasn't cutting weight, I think he could easily be 240 or 245. And how does this size compare to the
not
rest
a big 250? Like, he's going to be big, but not a huge body fat 250 is what I'm trying to say. 245, 240, you know. Still staying in shape, still solid as hell. But yeah.
So you may ask. Well, firstly, let's establish there's only 2 types of heavyweights in the heavyweight division. A regular heavyweight and a fat heavyweight. A regular heavyweight is 6'4 plus and of course giant, but also has pretty good muscle mass as well. A fat heavyweight is about 6'3 or under, and like their name suggests,
hey man, you can't put Derek Lewis in that no more, man. Derek Lewis got that 6-pack going on, man.
Are really fat, but have that heavyweight power. The typical regular heavyweight, I would say, weighs in on fight night around 245 to upwards of around 255. Fat heavyweights, on the other hand, weigh no less than 260 pounds and can often get pretty close to the heavyweight limit of 265 and are really the only guys at the heavyweight division that actually cut weight, which is insane. Of course, given Poatan's build, we would categorize him as a regular heavyweight. Right now, 240 or even 245 is at the smaller end of heavyweights these days, even the regulars like Tom, Volkov, or Siro Gone. But you have to remember the greatest heavyweight of all time, Stipe Miocic, typically weighed in at the low 240s or even as low as 234 against a monstrous 264 super heavyweight in Francis Ngannou. Now, that probably wasn't the best move for Stipe, but still, success can be found at the low 240s or even 230s. For Alex, even though he is 230 now, I think if he's really thinking about heavyweight, he can put on 10 to 15 pounds of muscle and size-wise easily fit in with the other heavyweights. So we're good.
You can't just put on 10 to 15 pounds of muscle. That's not regular shit. Not natural, at least. But I know what you mean. Put on 10 to 15 pounds. Not really put on, but just not cut weight and stay in shape. Basically what he means.
In terms of the heavyweight division, and if he
10 to 15 pounds of muscle, that's like.
And the next question is, will he fit in terms of power? Of course, the answer is yes. I'm sure most of you have seen this. It's Alex hitting the power cube, recording.
And he's going to be so much faster than those dudes. Tom Aspinall's pretty fucking fast. But, like, other than that, and John Jones is pretty fucking fast. So it'll be interesting. But, like,
91,000 units or over that.
He's going to, he's going to be fast, much more crisp than these guys.
Francis's previous record of 129,000 units. I mentioned briefly in this video about how the Power Cubes units are kind of ambiguous and may not be the best or consistent way to measure someone's power, but in any case, seemingly destroying Francis Ngannou's punch record is absolutely insane, and I don't need a machine to tell me he hits as hard as him, if not harder. He doesn't turn his hips much, but he can spark anyone with just a jab. His aptly given name, Poatan or Stone Hands, is a perfect description of how much power he holds in those hands. And imagine he gains like 10 to 15 pounds of pure muscle. I already think he can knock out any heavyweight in the UFC right now if he lands clean, but with 10 to 15 pounds more, he can do it with ease. But can Alex get the chance to land clean? I think skill for skill, he demolishes all of the fat heavyweights. Derek Lewis and below, or even arguably Rosenstrike and below, I think will get clipped by Alex Pereira. The only guy here who would give Alex a really bad matchup is, of course, Alexander Romanov, who does attempt a lot of takedowns and has a solid submission game, but who wants to see Alex Pereira fight this guy? Anyways, onto the heavyweights we want him to actually fight. These fat or bottom tier heavyweights have practically zero wrestling and don't attempt takedowns.
I want to see him fight Sergey, Volkov, Siro Gone's, John Jones's, Tom Aspinall's. All them other niggas.
A guy as
Biggie Boy
will
be interesting, but Biggie Boy
100% avoid most of these heavyweight shots and land with his own if they were standing up the whole time. Look at this sparring clip between Alex and Ty. I understand they're just sparring, and Ty's game doesn't really revolve around skill or out striking. It's really just his power, but still, Alex was clearly outclassing Ty and quickly understood his reach, speed, and timing, and was beautifully hitting and not getting hit. If they were actually fighting, I think given how quickly Alex found that range and timing, his shots mixed with his heavyweight power would quickly add up and break down Ty, similar to his fight with Siro Gone. And that would go for practically everyone else in the bottom of the heavyweight rankings, with Alex being one of the most skilled and arguably best pound-for-pound striker in the entire UFC. I think he would definitely outclass all of the fat heavyweights that rely on one giant hammer to take him out. But what about the middle of the pack and so forth? In the middle of the pack, we have guys that are definitely better than fat heavyweights and would be a toss-up.
He wiping them out too.
Stipe Miocic on paper has the skill set to beat Alex at heavyweight, and obviously in his prime he would have taken out Alex easily, but this is Stipe at 42 and literally not having a win since Alex.
You can't say he's taking out Alex easily in his prime. Like, no, not easily. Fuck no.
In the UFC. With Francis improving enough to defend against his grappling in their second fight, it's clear Stipe has lost his step, and this could very well end like that fight. Moving on to Sergey Spivak, he does have a solid chance at beating Alex. He attempts a lot of takedowns. He would try to smudge, but at the same time, the way Siro Gone just beat him. If he goes for a grappling heavy game plan, I think he can get this. But for some reason against Gone, he just didn't do it. After his one takedown attempt failed, he just stopped trying and continued to try to strike with Siro Gone, even with John Jones and Francis Ngannou showing the biggest hole in his game. So really, it just depends on how he approaches his fight with Alex. And there's really two ways to beat Alex. One is grappling, like mentioned before, and the other is potentially a quick burst of boxing. We've seen through Alex's career that he has little to no grappling or wrestling, and I mean, if Izzy is able to take you down...
You haven't seen him grapple since Izzy, which was 3-4 years ago. You haven't seen him grapple since Jan Blachowicz. You don't know this anymore. He's been training for years with Glover Teixeira at this point. You don't know if he doesn't have any grappling. And that's what's dangerous, because I assume that he does have some grappling in his back pocket. And that's fucking dangerous. If Magomed shoots, think it's going to be easy. Alex stuffs that first shot, and it's like, oh boy. Kind of how like when Kobe shot in on Joaquin Buckley. Joaquin stuffed that first shot. It's like, oh shit, he's fucked. You don't know if he doesn't have
grappling. Is pretty much non-existent. Now, of course, his grappling has improved over the last 2 years, but for the most part, he gets taken down pretty easily against guys who aren't primarily grapplers in light heavyweight. So imagine a division of guys 20 to 30 pounds bigger who actually know how to grapple. Alex would be cooked in these matchups if
Curtis
he didn't
Blades
get
doesn't
that
shoot
Hail
takedowns.
Mary
He hasn't shot a
strike.
takedown since
So
2020.
immediately, I see no chance of him winning against John Jones,
He would
Jotun
shoot against
Almeida,
Alex, obviously.
or Curtis Blades. All guys who have
He'd
a
KO
strong
Curtis
grappling
Blades.
base that would probably get Alex down and destroy him on the ground. And I know Volkov is primarily a striker and kickboxer that could probably go toe-to-toe with Alex on the feet, but given his grappling is much better than Alex's, I think he could take this
Don't
fight
know
to the ground
that.
and submit
We just
him
saw
as
Siro
well.
Gone go tit for tat with Alex. When was this video uploaded? A month ago. Okay, before Siro Gone fought Volkov, but still shame
Then
on
we
you,
have
bro.
guys that are capable of closing the distance early with quick boxing.
Now you're very,
and
very
with a
you're
lot of
underestimating
power.
Alex
When
a lot
watching the
now,
Roundtree
bro.
fight, Roundtree
I'm
found a
not
lot
saying
of
he just
success
goes
in
run
one
through
round
every single heavyweight dominantly, but like, come on now. You're
because
not
of
giving
his
them a
blitzes,
chance against
boxing,
those three
and
guys off the
ability
rip
to
because they
close
can
the
grapple.
range. As a
Bro, they're
longest
heavyweights at
striker
the end
and
of the day.
precision striker, Alex really thrives when the pace of the fight is slower and his opponents throw singular strikes. Alex simply is just better than everyone else at this pace since he is able to produce so much power in a moment's notice. But if the pace is pushed on him and the space is closed like Khalil was able to do, Alex has a hard time dealing with that pressure efficiently and often just backs up and extends his arms. This leads to a guy like Khalil finding a lot of success in the inside, getting Alex uncomfortable. And so imagine a guy 30 pounds bigger than Khalil doing what he did. Sergey Pavlovich and Tom Aspinall would be nightmare matchups for Alex,
Easier
as
said
they are
than done.
capable of not only
Tom's
bum-rushing Alex with quick and heavy
a
strikes, but they
nightmare
also
matchup.
have
Not so much Sergey.
grappling pedigree too.
Since we saw Volkov, Volkov's long and Volkov's tall, but Volkov literally danced around Sergey for 15 minutes because Sergey couldn't find his way around the jab. Come on,
Sergey
TJ.
has not really shown it,
Come
but
on,
he
TJ.
does have Greco-Roman background, and Tom Aspinall has literally said if he ever fights Alex, he
Yeah.
will shoot that takedown straight away. So really, though this picture is hard as fuck, this would be a nightmare for Alex all around, striking
tough-
or
now that
on the
is a
ground.
tough matchup.
So that really leaves us with one question unanswered. Siro Gone. I think this is a very interesting matchup that has been brought up, but I don't think it gets talked about all too much. This is probably Alex's best matchup in the top 5. A matchup I think he has a solid chance at winning. If Alex
This
was
is a tough matchup because Cyril's fucking nice, okay? The most fun
I
matchup,
think his
probably.
career would look a lot like Siro Gone's at heavyweight. A very talented striker and kickboxer that finds a lot of success at this division because the vast majority of the guys he fights are slower and less technical and can't match the speed and skill of Cyril.
I see
But
where he's
his
going with
success
this,
always
but
gets cut short because of his lack of grappling, as shown from
Cyril's
both his
not
title
Alex.
shots. But if these two match up, this would feed generations. This would be some of the highest level of striking at the heaviest weight class.
Cyril
with the
Gone has
highest
no
stakes.
power.
Both
Alex
dominate
has
in the
power.
stand-up with different styles.
Cyril
with his
has
fast-moving,
volume.
ultra-smooth precision striking, while
He's not going to be much faster than Alex Pereira because Alex Pereira is a light heavyweight at the end of the day. And Alex is going to have that lighter man skill, as Lucas would say. And his footwork's not going to be much better than Alex's. His head movement, his distance management.
Alex can dominate more with a controlled approach with equally deadly precision and power. I think if Alex can get up to 245, he can compete with Cyril, who typically weighs in around 245 to 250-ish, and from there, it really comes down to the striking. On the feet, I think it's a 50-50 matchup, and comes down to who
How?
makes the first mistake. I'm not trying to also
How?
disrespect Siro Gone either. I understand he's bigger than Alex, has been in the division way longer than Alex, of course, fought for the belt twice, and even has submitted
He ain't got that
people
kind of power,
very
though,
early in
fella.
his career. However, he
It's
didn't use it
accumulation.
against Ty, and I doubt he's
He
going
ain't
to
got
use
that
it against
kind of
Alex
power.
unless he gets really, really hurt. But I really think that this style of picking shots and going for very singular strikes gives Alex more of an opportunity to land something big in comparison to the blitz striking of Sergey or Tom. And in a
Sergey
50-50 fight,
sucks.
especially at heavyweight, anything can happen. So if Alex does ever go to heavyweight, I really, really hope it's Cyril, because we would get to see a kickboxing match for the ages. So anyways, what do you guys think about Alex's move or potential move to heavyweight? Will he ever
I
get
think
to that
it's
division?
really and severely underestimating what Alex Pereira could do. Shout out to CJ Love Fights. Original video is down in the description. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think about Alex Pereira's move to heavyweight. Does he just dominate it? Or will he have some adversity and a lot of it? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here, man. Yay.